Hello, everyone. We are talking 2026 NFL Draft, and today we are covering the cornerback position with just two position groups left to cover, cornerback and safety. Today we'll focus on cornerback. Yesterday we did linebackers. We've already done all the other position groups, so make sure you go back and listen to those or watch those on the Sports Stove YouTube channel and available on the audio of the Sports Stove Football Show podcast as well. And by the way, do us a favor, would you? Subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on the podcast, and make sure on social media you check us out too at Sports Stove on Twitter and Instagram. We'd love to have you following us there as well. All right, let's get into it, right? Today's episode is presented by Righteous Felon Jerky, the best, the greatest, the ultimate jerky around. You can find it at righteousfelon.com. Use the code STOVE15. You're going to get 15% off your purchase. And I highly suggest the bootleg and barbecue flavor, but it's got a little bit of a kick to it. So maybe if you don't like that kick, maybe you go to the Bourbon Franklin, a little sweeter, or the Foul Capone turkey jerky, incredible as well. Maybe you're a beef stick kind of person. They got those out there too. They got some really kicking ones. The habanero one is spicy. Check that out, though, righteousfelon.com. Again, the promo code is STOVE15, STOVE15, there at righteousfelon.com. Okay, cornerbacks. What an interesting group of cornerbacks that we have this season. We've got guys on this list. Number one on our list has yet to play a snap this season. And you say, well, how in the world can you do that? Well, because it's my show and I can do whatever I want. So that's the main reason, right? But we're going to look at today 8 guys, 8 cornerbacks that I think are first or second round talents in the 2026 NFL Draft. And you know, feel free to share your thoughts. That's perfectly fine as well. Cornerback number 1 for us is still Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. 6 foot, 193. Injured, has not played at all yet this season, and very well may not play at all this season. We could see him back in time for the last game against Vandy or even the bowl games and you know, those kinds of things. But I don't know what the point would be for him to do that at this point. He's considered by most a top 3 cornerback in the draft, if not the top draft. He's really good in man coverage. He's incredibly physical and incredibly instinctual. He's handsy, which means he disrupts a lot that goes on. He gets his hands on receivers early to disrupt their routes. Doesn't overcommit to things. He reads routes, high IQ guy. He's a good tackler for cornerback. You can't always say that. And he's been compared to by some scouts as having a safety mentality. So very physical with that. In his career, very low interception rate. So two interceptions in 2023 at Oregon State, 4 last season at Tennessee. His handsiness can get him in trouble as far as penalties and stuff like that go as well. Seeing a comp to Tyson Campbell currently in the NFL, something to consider there also. Listen, we haven't seen him this year, so he's had a whole year off. He's recovering from the injury, but given that you give him into the workout cycle of the offseason, healthy, it's a good thing. He's still who he is, right? So he's at number 1 for us. Number 2 is Mansoor Delaney from LSU. Listen, 6 foot, 190 as well. Started his career at Virginia Tech, played 3 years at Virginia Tech. Last year being his best, he had 4 interceptions, 7 passes deflected, and 2 forced fumbles. This season so far, he has 1 interception, but 8 passes deflected. He had 8 back in his freshman year in 2022 as well. So interception numbers, not high, but he has gotten his hands on the ball a whole lot. Knocks a lot of passes down. Love his style of play and what he's been doing at LSU this season. He has jumped pretty far up the board for me. Coming in to the preseason, I had him still in the second round grade talent. He's now a first round grade talent for me. Number 2 overall on my quarterback board. Number 3 is Avion Terrell from Clemson, 5'11", 180. Obviously, he's got that NFL pedigree. His brother in the NFL as well. And when you look at Avion Terrell, you're not I don't know how impressive you think he is, but fundamentally just sound. He is a guy that this year has 9 passes deflected. Last year had 12 passes deflected. Last year he had 3 forced fumbles to go along with it. Doesn't have that this season, but I love Avion Terrell. I'd love him to be a little taller, but he's not. But he's very polished. He is very fluid in his hips, light feet, patient. He stays low so he doesn't get off balance. He doesn't get pushed around. Keeps that balance really good as well. Very clean movement. Tracks the ball well, hence the passes deflected there as well. Coaches, I know coaches are going to rave about their players, but they love his preparation and what he does. He's a willing tackler, but he's not a great tackler. So, again, he's got to get his hands to knock the ball down because his tackling is not great. He's not super physical as far as like pressing, not really his style of play as well. So, I like Avion Terrell a lot. I still have him as number 3. Excuse me, on my board. But I'm interested to see how his workouts go this offseason. Kind of see what the scouts continue to say about him. Having his brother in the league helps him. Just that natural, again, that pedigree of the family has been there, done that, helps. But his talent is so good. He's number 3 for me. Number 4 is Colton Hood from Tennessee. Really came on the scene this year. All the talk coming into the year was obviously, about his partner in crime over there in Tennessee. But the reality is he has stepped up. And with that, not having McCoy there, Colton Hood has stepped up and he has played the part. He has done the role. He's done everything that he's been asked to do this year at Tennessee. He is rising up draft boards. I've seen him number 1 for some people. I don't see that. There's not enough for me there to put him at that spot. But first round talent, top 5 cornerback, sure, why not? I think what he's done this year has given him that right to do so. Number 5 at the cornerback position is who do I have there? AJ Harris, Penn State, 6'1", 191, started his career at Georgia, then transferred to Penn State last season. He's a press corner, prototype body, very disciplined in his feet, has great leverage. He doesn't get caught looking at the quarterback. He stays strong onto his man, very physical defender. Again, another guy, this is kind of common for this thread of cornerbacks this year. Doesn't intercept the ball a lot, but he deflects a ton of passes. He gets his hands on passes as well. He doesn't have the great speed, and that's what kind of scares me about him a little bit is when I look at him and I go, okay, he's lacking in the speed. He's got great size, so against those physical receivers, but we're seeing these guys, the receivers coming to the league are massive and fast, and AJ Terrell has got great speed. He has a great job in covering up close and in person. But if he gets beat on the route, the catch up is not great. So I still have him at number 5 on my list. But I have to admit, he's one that I'm kind of looking at and going, maybe we're going to see him drop a little bit as we go through this process a little bit more because his numbers may not be great once we get into the combine and pro days and things of that nature. Number 6 for me is a guy that I really want to put higher, and I just haven't been able to yet, but it's Will Lee III out of Texas A&M. And this year at A&M, it's his second season at A&M. Again, not getting a lot of interceptions, but he's getting his hands on the ball. At Kansas State and as a freshman, he had 6 passes deflected. Last season at A&M, he had 10. This season, he has 6 so far. Very long frame at 6'3". Great press skills. Again, a very physical receiver. He jabs very well. He's got great vision, and he's a very good tackler, which is why I think I want to rise him up a little bit as well. His off coverage does need some improvement. He doesn't always get his head around on the deep balls, which causes him maybe some trouble with penalties and things like that as well. But when you put that size, that speed, and that physicality together, you just need the right system, the right coach, the right situation, and he becomes a perfect wide receiver or cornerback for you. I love Will Lee III, and I would love to see him rise up my board. I think he will, but we're still got to see some things happen here throughout the offseason and things like that. I think those 6 are the highest potential first-round picks that we have at cornerback this year. We will not see 6 cornerbacks drafted in the first round, but I think those are the 6 names to keep an eye on for the first round. Now, 7 and 8, the second round talent guys that I have right now, the second round grades I have right now. D'Angelo Pons from Indiana. What I don't like about D'Angelo Pons, he's 5'9". That's not awesome. That doesn't help out a lot. 170. He is small. He comes over from JMU with Cignetti. Had a good year at JMU. Again, 12 passes deflected as a freshman at JMU. At Indiana last season, 9 passes deflected, and he got 3 interceptions. This season, up to this point at least, 1 interception, 5 passes deflected. So even with his size, he's doing everything necessary. He's getting his hands on the football. He's covering well in spite of his size. But his size scares me. You talk about the NFL and the draft and all those kind of things. The reality is at cornerback, especially as the wide receivers get bigger, 5'9" is scary. He has the talent. I'm not sure where he gets drafted because of the size. Then number 8 for me is Davison Igbenogson from Ohio State. This guy does have the size. 6'2", 193. Listen, same thing as all these other guys we're talking about. Not a lot of interceptions, but he's getting his hands on the football. 9 passes deflected in 2024, 5 in 2023, 5 in 2022 as a freshman at Ole Miss, and he is the guy at Ohio State right now. When we talk about defensive backs at Ohio State, we're usually looking at safety because they have the top safety in the world right now. But listen, Davison has experience. He has size. He has ability. He comes from the right school at Ohio State, where when you get through the playoffs, if they win a championship again, his stock rises, just plain and simple. And it's not necessarily fair as far as the stats and all those kinds of things too, but he has an advantage in that sense. But he is talented. He is big. He gives you everything that you want in the body build of a cornerback. There are some deficiencies in his game, though, at the same time. If you're asking me, the safest pick out of these guys, it's not Davison Igbenogson, but I like him a lot. And I think if you can steal him in the mid-second round, you're still getting a great value for him there, and you haven't invested too much into him. You know, when you look at these bodies, Jermod McCoy is 6', 193. Mansoor Delaney, 6', 190. Then Will Lee at 6'3", 190. I like all those guys' body builds similar to Igbenogson. I just like them so much more than him. To me, there is a gap between them. But that being said, that gap isn't to the point where you look at him and go, oh, he can't play. No. He's a second-round talent. He's still a really good cornerback, and I think that's where we see him go in the draft this year, second round this season. There are other cornerbacks out there. DJ McKinney from Colorado, Malik Muhammad from Texas, Antonio Kite from Ole Miss, Chandler Rivers from Duke, Jalen Kilgore from South Carolina, Damani Jackson from Alabama, Takario Davis from Washington State, Dalen Everett from Georgia, Jair Hill from Michigan. Like, there are plenty of cornerbacks in this class. It's a pretty deep class. But to me, as we talk about team needs and things like that in future episodes, we're going to kind of see a bigger divide between these. We have some, I fear to use the word elite. We have some really good cornerbacks at the top. Then we do have a divide and the second round talent guys. And then we do have a divide from there to the third round and even third day guys. But all of them can play. All of them have skill. All of them have upside. The question is can we put them on the right fits and things like that as well? That's my thoughts on cornerbacks. Feel free to leave your thoughts, your opinions. Where was I wrong? Where was I right? Who did I completely leave off of the first 2 rounds of the cornerback position? I'm happy to hear from it. You can leave your comments on social media at Sports Stove on Twitter and Instagram. You can leave your comments on the Sports Stove YouTube channel underneath this video. Feel free to share your thoughts there as well. Make sure you go visit. Listen, we have Christmas coming up, but you need stocking stuffers, and there's just no better stocking stuffer than Righteous Felon Jerky. As a matter of fact, if you're wrapping gifts, there's no better snack as you're wrapping gifts than Righteous Felon Jerky. Great flavors, incredible texture. They also have the beef sticks if that's your thing. And all of them you can get at a discounted price if you use the code STOVE15 at righteousfelon.com. We have one position group left to cover. That is the safety group. We'll talk about them next time. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow the Sports Stove Football Show podcast to make sure you don't miss any of the content going out. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.